Hey, what's going on, folks? It is Mitch here, and I am back with another daily video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video today. I have a good one planned for you. I've been trying to think of some new video topics, and then this idea just popped into my head, and I was like, you know what? I've been alive for 31 years, and I really like to reflect on my life, my day-to-day, and just kind of look at myself in the mirror and see what I can do to become the best version of myself ultimately. And I decided to make this video today. As you can see by the title, I'm 31 and things that I wish I knew in my 20s. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The first thing that I wish I knew is how important to take your health. When you are younger, it kind of seems like you're unbreakable. I mean, I remember going snowboarding every single day. I used to live in upstate New York, and I was close to Hunter Mountain, a really nice snowboarding and skiing mountain on the east coast of the U.S. And we would go every single day. I mean, I would get a season's pass, and just every single day I would go up with all my buddies and we would have a good time. But I didn't even think about the things that I was doing while I was snowboarding. We were hitting jumps, we were jumping off cliffs, we were enjoying the time that we were on the mountain. And now that I'm 31, I'm sure I could snowboard, but I don't know if I could do it to the extent that I was doing prior. I kind of shifted my focus in my health and fitness into more gym work and running. I am currently running my first marathon in a few days coming up. It's 26.2 miles if you don't know the length of a marathon. So I've kind of scaled back on what you would want to say, like quote unquote, like extreme sports, because I don't know if I have that capability. I'm still young. Don't get me wrong. I'm only 31 and I probably could snowboard quite well. I haven't done it in a few years. But the point is I'm not where I was in my 20s. And I've always had a fast metabolism. And now that I am getting older, I am focusing more into my health and my nutrition. I'm eating more wholesome foods. I'm not eating out a lot. I'm not going to fast food place. I'm really staying away from a lot of the processed foods, because if I didn't work out the way that I worked out, I would probably be a lot heavier than I am currently right now, because I know that I still have a quick metabolism, but it is slowing down just because I'm getting older. And I can tell when I have a free weekend, when we make cookies or cupcakes or something like that, and I eat quite a bit, I can definitely tell on my runs earlier in that next week that I ate a bunch of cookies. But I wish I knew this in my 20s, because I didn't eat the best. And I'm glad that I learned this lesson early, because there are people that are still not focusing energy and time into the health and fitness. And the truth is you just get older. So looking back in my 20s, if I took my health and my fitness more seriously, I would probably be in a better fitness state than I am now. Not that I'm not in shape, because I worked very hard over the past year or 2 years to get to the point of where I am now, but I wish I just kind of took care of myself a little bit more. Another thing that I wish I knew is that your 20s won't last forever. Those are the prime time years. You are at the end of your college career, you're going into your first job. It's just the time to go out and do stuff. And I did plenty of stuff in the local area, but I didn't really travel to a lot of different places in the world. I didn't really leave New York State. I kind of just stayed in upstate New York, which, don't get me wrong, was an awesome time, but as you get older, you naturally gain more responsibilities. I mean, I have a wife now. We are in our first house. We're planning to bring a little one into this world in the next few years. So like the responsibilities just add up. And when you're in your 20s, you kind of have less responsibilities. That's just kind of how it goes. So if I were to go back into my 20s, I would probably travel a little bit more because I didn't have some of the responsibilities that I have now back then. Another thing that I wish I knew in my 20s is as you get older, you are naturally going to lose friends. And I love everybody that I grew up with. When I got married last year, at the end of last year, every single person that was in my friend group came to the wedding. Like everybody that we hung out with in upstate New York, they were all my groomsmen. I had 9 groomsmen. Like that's the type of person I am, is that like, if you are my best friend, we will see each other in life at different points when it's appropriate. But now I live states away from all those people, and I never knew that. Like in my 20s, I never thought I was really going to move out of upstate New York. Then we moved to North Carolina for a family business, but I never knew that. I never knew that you would lose contact. I still talk to everybody here and there, but it's not like it used to be. Like back in the day, we would always hang out like every single night. Once people got off work, like we would go to our friend's house and we would just kick it back. And when I was in college in my early 20s, they would come up on the weekends and we would hang out. We were always doing something, and you know, I miss that. I truly miss that. So, you know, new friend groups and stuff can come into your life, but not like your original friend group, at least from my experience. Another thing that I wish I knew in my 20s was just time goes by so quick. Like before I knew it, I was in my 30s. Like I remember when I turned 30 and I was like, wow, I feel so old. Like I know I'm not old in the grand scheme of it. Like I'm super young still. I'm in my first house. I'm in my first marriage and all that. But it's like, and I don't want to say like first marriage, like I'm going to have a second one. Like my wife is my life partner. We know that, and we were going to grow old and die together. Like we already made that promise. We already put those roots down into the ground. Our marriage is strong, so I don't want it to sound like I'm not going to be with her for life, because I will be. But time moves so fast. Like I just think when we moved to North Carolina in 2017, that was already coming up on 8 years this January. Like I haven't even been in North Carolina for 10 years, but like since I was 25, I've been in North Carolina. And it's just like, I had the second half of my 20s here, but I was working for a family business. We were growing a family business, so it was like grind time. So time just goes by so fast. Like my parents are already in their early 60s. I've had both grandparents on my mom's side and my dad's side go to heaven. And it's just like, when you are around the people that you love, like that truly love you, that you truly love them, do not take that time for granted. Like that is the time to be in the moment, reminisce on the memories, tell new jokes, enjoy the home cooked meals, enjoy the meals out at your favorite restaurants, because you're not going to get that time back. And once you get into a certain point in your adulthood, when you have responsibilities of a family, a house, all these bills that are in your name that you have to pay, and in order for you to pay, you have to make money, so you're working, the days just kind of mix together. It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to Monday. The bill's coming up, you pay the bill. So it's important to just be in the present. Be in the present. Like I do my absolute best to live in the present moment, even right now. even this morning, even coming up to this evening. Like, because you don't get the time back. Like, when I was in my 20s, it just felt like I was going to be in my 20s forever. It really felt like that. I was like, oh, I'm young. We're doing this summer. The days are going by slow. And then next thing you know, I'm in my 30s. Next thing you know, I'm going to be 32 coming up in January. Before I know it, I'll be 40. So it's just like, it's very important to realize that time goes by quick. And the last thing that I wish I knew in my 20s was to save your money. Save your money. Learn to save. I mean, we were so active. Playing in the woods, BMX, mountain biking, playing baseball, football, going swimming. We were always do something, but we always ate out. We would go to Wendy's on a Thursday night. We would go to Taco Bell. We would do all this. And if I didn't spend so much money on just like food and going out, I would probably have a little bit more to my name. Excuse me. But not that I'm not saving now, because I realized that, especially since I started working for the family business when I moved down to North Carolina, because that's all we did was work. But like, all those trips, all that gas, all that money that I put into it, we could have just fired up the grill. We could have just cooked at home. We could have just went to the grocery store and got some hamburgers and chicken and barbecued out. That probably would have been a lot more cost effective. And it's only because I'm in my early 30s that I look at money and the value of money a lot differently. Now, I always saved money, but looking back, I would be like, oh, okay, let me actually invest in my future. Let me actually invest in my future, because when I buy my house for my 20s self, I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, one day I'll own a house, but I didn't know necessarily what it took to own a house. I didn't know anything about down payments and property taxes and all that, and we didn't think about it. We just rode our bikes. We just worked. We just lived with our parents because it was a small town. I wasn't going to move to an apartment down the street. There was no need for it. There was no need for it. And it sounds goofy, but if you live in a small town, you know about it. We're a very close-knit community. Everybody that I knew lived at home. Some went to college and we didn't really talk to them, but most of us, we just lived at home. We worked and we saved our money. I put a lot into my car. I had 2 Volkswagens at the time, and I would put a lot into that. Different things into it. We would go to car shows and this and that, and looking back, I don't have those vehicles anymore, and it was a great time. I don't take anything back, but I probably could have saved over $20,000 just from randomly buying stuff. So I just wanted to reminisce on my 20s. I feel like I can talk about this since I am 31, since I do have quote-unquote adult responsibilities now. Everybody's life path is different. Some of you may be realizing this at an early age, depending on the part of your life that you're in, but this was just my experience. I'm sure in the future I'll make similar videos to this video topic for you guys. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I truly appreciate you guys. I truly do. We are working to become a YouTube partner. We're less than 400 subscribers away from 1,000 and less than 2,000 hours away from the 4,000 hour watch goal. So if you have subscribed to the channel, I appreciate you. If you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button if this video resonated with you. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end to help those watch hours. Leave a like, comment below. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.